Y'all, I'm ashamed at this point to live in a country that lets this stuff happen. Ashamed of the complacency, ashamed of people falling for the lie that regression like this is actually progress. This isn't progress. He just named this guy as chief counsel in New York City 24 years after 9/11. And while making the announcement, he said this regarding homeless veterans.
My sincere hope is that New Yorkers who have long felt on the margins of this city, the homeless veterans straining to survive, the patient searching for the care that they need, and him to get by, will feel that they now have leaders in their corner who understand their struggles and care to fight for them. That is the city I want.
How do you think the homeless veterans ended up homeless veterans? What do you think they signed up to fight? And what do you think they signed up to fight for? Well, that's right. And now we're just going to let this happen. We're just going to let this guy be sworn in. There were multiple reasons why Mamdani should have been, frankly, kicked right off the ballot. There are, frankly, several reasons why he shouldn't really even be in this country. We're just going to let that go. We keep letting everything go as we spiral down into this pit of complacency where nobody in this country seems to have a voice or representation anymore. Mamdani won because people allowed him to stay on the ballot. He won because of high voter turnout amongst non-native born Americans, but remarkably low voter turnout amongst people who were born here. Because, frankly, we've been trained into understanding that no matter what we do, nobody's ever going to really help or change the situation. In fact, it's probably going to go the opposite direction. Where I live, residents can't even manage to fight off these developers coming in from out of state and building these giant compounds in our own neighborhoods, these mixed-use residential and retail complexes. Why? Because the number of people who are protesting and trying to do anything about it is getting smaller and smaller, while the number of people who are profiting from it and who have power is getting bigger and bigger. Somehow nothing exemplifies this entire phenomenon of ineffectual, emasculated Americanness more than this in New York City.
Yes, you will not see the mainstream media talking about this. You remember when Elon Musk waved at the crowd, they call him a Nazi with a Nazi salute, where Mamdani Didn't. You will not see CNN, MNBC calling him out. That is actually not our focus on this video. Americans erupt after New York City new mayor Zohran Mamdani gets sworn in on the Quran. How the F do you get sworn in as an American mayor in an American city, New York, with this? This is actually what I see on social media. People are concerned with this, like they have not seen this before. Some quoted examples, like even Trump did not use the Bible. Oh, this person did not use this. I don't know. I'm just reporting the news so you can see exactly what is going on. About thousands of videos are out there, people talking about this. I'm going to show you some so you can see what is going on. But before I do, if you love what I'm doing here, please subscribe, share the video, and check if your notification is on.
We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
Famous words spoken by every communist in history. Hi, my name is Bogdan, and this is exactly how communism came to power in my country, Romania, via collectivism. First, they confiscated private land. Then they used terror to enforce collectivism. The regular Romanian citizens were arrested, beat up, humiliated publicly, left to rot in prison, and some even executed. The next step for collectivism was destroying the independent farmer class. These people were a threat to the regime because they were able to stay self-sufficient and did not rely on the state. Independence was and still is the biggest threat to communism. They made it in such a way that owning more than others was a crime. Once all that happened, the communists started confiscating the food from farmers, leaving families. They also confiscated the livestock raised by people. This resulted in famine, malnutrition, and the collapse of productivity. Romania literally went from being the #1 exporter of grain in Europe to chronic shortages of food. But that wasn't enough. The communists then banned free market. No free sale of crops, no private trades, no bargaining, classic socialist failure. But collectivism wasn't just economic, it was cultural as well. In Romania, they attacked the church and religious people. They replaced family authority with party authority, all with one goal in mind: replace faith and family with the state. 15 years later, the communists declared victory. 90% of all farmland in Romania was collectivized. Bottom line, Romanian collectivism was forced, economically disastrous, morally corrupt, and designed to control, not help. Only for today in the United States of America to be in New York City. I swear to God, some Americans are the dumbest morons on the planet.
I would like to formally congratulate every white liberal living in New York City that voted for their very own destruction. You got it. You wanted it. It's here. Jan 1st, sworn in. Now, y'all thought y'all were about to get Zoran Mamdani, your friendly neighborhood democratic socialist for the people. What y'all about to realize real soon is that you got Koran Mamdani. That's right. Koran Mamdani. That's him right there.
Trump supporters are furious after Zoran Mamdani swore in on the Quran. They're calling it unconstitutional and saying that he wants to replace U.S. law with Sharia law, with no evidence to back up their claims, of course. Take a look. This person says swearing on the Quran implies a commitment to Islamic law, Sharia over U.S. laws. This erodes the separation of church and state, ignoring that the oath is to uphold the Constitution regardless of the book used.
Yes, this has actually triggered a lot of people. From my observations, what I see on social media, at some point, when I look at it, I begin to question a country with laws, things like this should not be, issues we should be debating on social media. Some people says what he did is incorrect. Some says it is okay. They quoted examples that, President Trump did not use the Bible during his swearing in. This president did not use, he used this. There are a lot of videos I've watched, people saying this. At some point, Mamdani has a lot of issues. Yeah. He ran as a socialist. And he has been repeating the same talking points every single time. He will not change. He will continue to be who he is. And he will continue to do what he promised. That is according to the speech I saw. At some point, this is getting a lot of people angry. Yeah. I really don't know. I really don't like to get myself really involved into deep politics when it concerns things like this, especially talking about the constitutions. Reason. Sometimes I just want to report the news so people can see I reported this video in the morning. Take a look at this.
Let's see that one more time. Now, if you weren't born yesterday, I'm sure you remember a little while ago when everybody on the left was calling Elon Musk a Nazi for doing something similar to this. Yes, they were literally calling him a Nazi. Let's go back and take a look at what Elon did.
Thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you.
So what many on the left did is they took that clip out of context when Elon did that and literally said, "My heart goes out to you." It was very clear what he was doing.
This man agenda is something a lot of people will start regretting soon.
Thank you to Governor Hochul. Thank you as well to Mayor Adams. Dorothy's son.
Immediately he was sworn in. There are some measures, some executive orders Mayor Eric Adams signed. He immediately revoked them. People are already noticing something.
Here is, we will answer to all New Yorkers, not to any billionaire or oligarch who thinks they can buy our democracy.
Should this be the direction the party is going to? He's not the only democratic socialist. There's about 100 in different offices and places where they've won in this country.
This is exactly what people are going to witness. I saw the other day, they are now coming with a bill to tax billionaires. I don't know if businesses will be able to survive. A lot of people are going to leave New York. That is the simple truth. God bless you abundantly. As of the short clips you see at the end, that is for the white algorithm. You can skip
There you go.
$1,500.
Let's see if they get the.
Well,
I want to see
it is
them
coming.
get it.
MAGA's going to break up because of Donald Trump's criticism of Robin.
Can sit at either place. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
You and your husband were friends with Rob and Michelle Reiner, and
Everybody knew that wasn't true.
A dangerous relative as a likely suspect. A tip that led to her brother Nick. Rob Reiner and Nick had a heated argument the night before at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party, being back on his own. In one interview, she said,
We should have said nothing. The United States to take this family tragedy in which the president had made no comment.
When people ought to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolute horror. That 46% represents.
Individualism has been the core engine for this country.